Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the readings of October 24th in Courage to Change and a Little Time for Myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer in 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. We'll begin with a little time for myself, October 24th. Just take a moment to look this over. The question of the day is, what can I do to help me pause before I react? And the reading starts off by talking about when we're upset in any kind of situation, we can take a couple of steps before we choose how we're going to react. We can use the awesome Al-Anon slogan, "How important is it?" And the other thing is we can determine our motives. I love that. Determine our motives. And once we think about those things, it will usually change how we react in a situation. Take a moment to think, as we say in Al-Anon quite often, can help us. Just that little bit of time can give us the time we need to put into practice the Al-Anon tools that we've learned. And today's reminder is just reminding us to pause before we do something that we won't be happy with. And the quote is from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, saying that it's very important for our peace of mind to use self-control when we're dealing with a confusing or tense situation. So going back to what can I do to help me pause before I react, one of my favorite things is to breathe. My newest thing is in 4, out 6, and then a little pause, and repeat. In for 4, out for 6, and then a little pause on the exhale before I inhale again. So that is very helpful to kind of ground myself. Journaling, removing myself from the situation can help before I decide how I want to respond to it. Journaling, as I just said, and then I remembered removing myself, like in the moment. Sometimes just getting out of the situation is helpful. Talking to an Al-Anon friend, talking to my sponsor, going to a meeting. Many things do not need a response that I think do, and that's important for me to remember too. I don't always have to respond. How about you? What can you do to help you pause before you react? That is a little time for myself. Next, we'll go to Courage to Change, October 24th. I'll take a moment to look this over. This is a beautiful reading about the levels of recovery and healing that we experience in Al-Anon. And the analogy in this reading is like the layers of an onion. So first, it's mentioning that we don't want to, much like the bark of a tree, we don't want to peel back the layers prematurely because it could do damage. However, the bark of a tree will slough off on its own when it's ready, which is what we ideally do while we work our program, is that we grow at our own pace. We decide what ideas work for us and what doesn't, and what we no longer need, we just slough away. And that is exactly how it works ideally, to have a nice, comfortable recovery. Today's reminder says we can heal and grow without forcing ourselves to change quickly. When we're ready, changes will happen. And the quote is from In All Our Affairs, and it says, our Al-Anon program and our higher power help us to find the answers that we're looking for. So this is a beautiful reminder that if we just take one step at a time, put one foot in front of the other, easy does it. Al-Anon is a gentle program. We will see progress, and we will feel serenity, which is such an encouraging and uplifting thought. So that's Courage to Change. We'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.